Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Hari. The 18th chapter begins with Arjuna's request. He says, Bhagavan, I want to know what exactly is the essence of the words sannyas and tyaga. Because in both of them, renunciation is there. Because sannyas may also be to renounce, tyaga also we have to give up. So what is the essence of them? Please explain to me very clearly, distinctly. So, in the beginning, Bhagavan gives some views of different acharyas, teachers, and then he says, Yajna, Dana, Tapa must be done because they are purifiers, but they also should be done giving up attachments and the results thereof. He says tyaga also is of three kinds. Tamas tyaga and what you call rajas tyaga and sattvic tyaga. Tamas, rajas, sattvic is a noble one. The other is a mediocre type. And the other is out of ignorance, dullness, that is given a place called tamas tyaga. So sattvic tyaga we saw, karyamityeva yat karma niyatam kriyate Arjuna, sangam tyaktva phalam chaiva sa tyagaha sattvika smritaha. So we will see what you call tyaga very clearly, then we will come to the topic of sannyas. We will see that. Now let us complete the topic of tyaga. Shloka number 10. Nadveshtya kushalam karma kushalena anushajyate tyagi sattva samavishtaha medhavi chinna samshayaha. Sattva samavishtaha tyagi. That tyagi who is sattva samavishtaha means what you call rich in the sattva guna. That's called sattva samavishtaha. Filled with sattva guna. Such a sattva samavishtaha tyagi medhavi, intelligent, bright, brilliant, chinna samshayaha, and the one who has no doubts, free from doubts about the karma, which karma to be done, about that he has no doubt. Chinna samshaya. Such a person, how does he live? Na dveshti akushalam karma. Kushale nanushajyate. Here the word kushala is used in a very different sense than what we generally use, you know. Kushal, some person is saying this person is kushal. Kushal means what? Dexterous, expert, skillful. But here kushala, akushala means agreeable, disagreeable. Priya, apriya, pleasant, unpleasant. Such expressions are there, no? This is my most pleasant duty. and they say, I have to do some unpleasant duty. See, in the companies also, when they have to hire and write the letter of appointments, so they like to do that duty, the pleasant duty, to give a job to someone. But if they have to fire someone, they will ask assistant, you do that. So unpleasant duty, that is. So we have got all these kind of ideas of pleasant and unpleasant, agreeable, disagreeable. I like to do this, I don't like to do that. A tyagi purusha has no such kind of thing. Na dveshti akushalam karma. Something unpleasant may be, disagreeable, but then he does not hate that. He says, that also a part of the duty and I have to do it. What you call a judge in the court also has to give the verdict, So sometimes he has to send someone to jail, lifetime, and where the capital punishment also is there, so they sentence him to that also. It's not a very pleasant kind of thing, But I say, that's a part, no disliking it. Na dveshti akushalam. And kushale na anushajyate. And he doesn't get attached to anything that is pleasant. That means what? He rises above his personal likes and dislikes. No raga dvesha. So tyagi is tyagi. So the one who has given up likes and dislikes, the one who has given up attachment to results of actions, and also the results also. That we have seen what is the meaning of giving up results also. And such a person is called samavishta, sattva samavishta, medhavi. Generally, medha word is, normal sense understood for good memory, medha. But medha is not only just memory, but granthartha dharana shakti is called medha. Not only memorizing certain things, but understanding the meaning, the very essence, and not to forget the teaching, the main part of it. Otherwise, we will remember the shlokas and all that, you can remember. But what is said, what is the meaning of it, and what is the import of it, grantha artha dharana shakti. That's called medha. And such a medhavi only can be chinna samshayaha. Otherwise, about karma, we always have got doubt. I should do this or I should do that. I don't know whether this is my duty, that is my duty. What? I'm always confused only. But medhavi chinna samshayaha. Na dveshti akushalam karma kushale nanushajyate. Tyagi sattva samavishtaha. Medhavi chinna samshaya. I read, someone had asked Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, what is the teaching of Bhagavad Gita? So he said, Gita, if you keep on repeating Gita, 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 it will become. And Tagi means Tyagi. You become Tyagi. That's all Bhagavad Gita teaches. These Mahatmas have got their own way of telling things, So Gita, Tagi, so Tyagi is what happens, any dialect and other things, so the words become simpler. So the joint consonants, they are dissolved. Like Lakshman, so it becomes Lachiman. so nice it becomes. So they become softer. So Tyagi Bhava, that's what Gita says. You become Tyagi. Tyagi sattva samavishtaha. Medhavi chinna samshayaha. So, Bhagavan now says, we have to understand one thing, which he had said in 3rd chapter also, that we are born here and we have to live our life, and action is the very sign of our life, We cannot live without action. So, we must know, therefore, which kind of actions we should perform, which we should not, and how to perform. There is no choice whether to perform action or not. There is no choice. In the 3rd chapter also Bhagavan says, Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarma krut. No one can remain without doing something. Because karma is very chalanatmakam karma. Karma is the nature of movement. The physical, physiological, mental, intellectual, thought will go on and on. Everything is karma. So therefore, tyagi means not the one who has given up karma, because you cannot really give up karma. Only when you give up karma phala, asakti, then only that person is called tyagi. That's what he said in the 11th shloka. Nahi deha bhrata shakyam tyaktum karmanya sheshataha yastu karma phala tyagi satyagi ityabhidhiyate. Says, Nahi deha vrata shakyam tyaktum karmani asheshataha. Nahi shakyam. This is certainly not possible. What is not possible? Tyaktum karmani. To give up karmas, performing karmas. Asheshataha, completely. I will not do anything. Oh, that is not possible. For whom? Deha vrata. The embodied one, the one who has got a physical body and living physical body, it's not possible to give up all karma. Do you know one interesting and important point we have to note? Suppose somebody says, I am not going to do anything and just sit like this. He doesn't know sitting like this also is karma. Right? He doesn't understand that. Because karma is that which will tire you down. After a time you will get exhausted. Will you get tired or not sitting just like that? Tell me. That's why you must have seen in the aeroplane also, when the plane lands, and the seat belts and you can now remove, everybody gets out, even though they know that they cannot get out immediately, but because they're sitting, tired. Sitting we are tired, standing we are tired. Even lying down also we are tired. But after some time, you cannot lie down. So what we find, that if I say, I will not do anything, there also struggle is there. Nahi deha bhrata shakyam. And even if you like that, how will you control your all physiological functions? अंदर तो बहुत फैक्ट्री चल रही है, such a huge factory is going on inside you. You have no control, you don't know also what is happening. And what about the mind? उसका तो क्या? Round the world it is trip, round the world trip. Free. Where it will go we never know. So how will you stop? Asheshata, that's why Bhagavan says Asheshata. It is not possible for an embodied one to give up all karmas completely. That means what? You have to perform karma. So now the karmas are to be performed. So tyaga cannot be the tyaga of karmas. Karma tyaga is not possible. Karma tyaga is not possible. Only what we can give up is yastu karma phala tyagi satyagi iti abhidhiyate. Only the one who renounces the fruits of action, attachment to them, that is possible. We cannot give up karma. But it is possible for me that I do the karma, whatever I earn, I give to someone. That's possible. Or I have no attachment to that, anything of that. That's also possible. Therefore, say, yastu karma phala tyagi, satyagi. That person only is called a man of tyaga, sacrifice. Iti abhidhiyate. So now, this topic of tyaga must be understood, because he has sannyasasya mahabaho tattvam ichchami veditum tyagasya cha rishikesha pruthakeshi nishudana. So he asks, what is tyaga? So from this tyaga topic, what we have understood, that our life is life of action. We have no choice whether to act or not to act. Only we have got choice as to which action to perform, how to perform, selfishly perform, getting attached to them perform. All there is a possibility that is there. And there we have to understand that we must perform our duties without any personal likes and dislikes. So likes and dislikes are renounced. In the tyaga, what is done is personal likes and dislikes are given up. Second, only kartavya karma is to be performed. Second, third point is karma is done, so result will be there. But you have no attachment to that result. And when the karma phala also comes, it should be properly shared and all that. So therefore you have given up the karma phala also. So when that is done, then that person is called tyagi. This is the essence of tyaga. Now, we also should understand what exactly is the meaning of this attachment, because the attachment, this, everybody finds it very difficult, See, one is the action, voluntary actions are going on, our breathing, digestions and all those things that are voluntarily going on. We don't have to do anything. Other thing is desire prompted. When a desire is there, normally desire only there. But then what is the attachment? See, attachment is the insistence of the fulfillment of that desire only in the way that you want it. Then that is called attachment. Like a married couple now, and the first child is to be born. Now suppose they were saying, oh, I want to have a son. Nothing wrong. But if you say, I want a son only, not daughter. What is wrong with daughter? No. Don't ask. So then this is something, it is not only desire, it is of insistence is there. But what to do first is girl only born. But they say, all right. Second, now to ab to ladka hona hai. लड़के होना चाहिए, अब तो लड़का होना चाहिए. Again, second Kanya Ratnam only. One person, third time also. Then he said, now one more will try. After three also, he tried to try. Twin girls. Bhagavan, the more you insist, you should accept. What is it? But there is no point in all that. So therefore, whatever is that. So, but when you say like this, or any other kind of things also, I want this type of job only, I want only this work only, not that. The moment that insistence comes, then it has taken the form of attachment before getting it. And once you get it, then the nature of attachment is, I should not lose it, I should not lose it. Hold on. Because without this, my life will be zero. Bhagavan says, don't have that type of attachment. That he said in the second chapter only, karmanyevadhikaraste, ma phaleshu kadachana. Only in performing karma you have got freedom, right, but the result you have no control, because result comes karturadnya prapyate phalam. Only by the laws of nature or God, whatever you call it, they will come. So why you have attachment? Why do you have that? One speaker was there, some religious speaker, and then he said, only when there are thousands of people there, then only I give lecture. what to do. And one day he went there, only one man was there. So he said, I am cancelling it. I have just for only one man. But that one man was there. He said, from the long distance I came all the way. You should not disappoint me, You give a lecture. So he said, okay. Because he said, if I invite 10 people for dinner or lunch and only one comes, I don't say that only one has come, I will not give you food. That listener was very intelligent. So that man got inspired. Okay, now listen. And went on for 2-3 hours. Oh, high pitch lecture. The poor man was listening to that. And afterwards he asked, how was my lecture? Now tell. The lecture was very good. But sir, if I invite 10 people, only one comes, I don't give the food of 10 people to that one person. So dan going on. Anyway, but if this kind of attachment is meaningless, only when so many, then only. So this is called asakti. Okay, nahi deha vrta shakyam tyaktum karmani asheshatah yastu karma phala tyagi satyagi iti abhidhyate. So we have seen the essence of tyaga. Tyaga means not giving up of karma, but giving up our personal likes and dislikes, and only performing kartavya karma alone, no attachment to fruits, and giving up all the results. That is called tyaga. Now Bhagavan comes to the topic of sannyasa. What is a sannyas then? We'll see here. Anishtam ishtam mishram cha Trividham karmana phalam Bhavatyattyaginam pretya Natu sannyasinam kvachit. Bhagavan says, when the karmas are performed, the karmas produce results. And what are those results? Anishtam. Anishtam. Anishtam is not very dear, agreeable, not pleasant. Such results also can come. Anishtam, which I don't like, I don't desire. Such result has come. Anishtam. Or ishtam. Just exactly what I wanted. Got it. So that's called ishtam. Mishramcha. Mishramcha is a mixture. So I was not totally disappointed, but it could have been better. So it is a mixture, I got what I wanted, but not to the extent I wanted. I wanted a job in such and such company, I got that job, but the designation I wanted something, or the pay scale वो थोड़ा कम दे रहे हैं, थोड़ा सा पैकेज है ना, but doesn't matter. मिश्रम, थोड़ा दुख है, थोड़ा सुख है, थोड़ा. So that is mishram, anishta mishram. Papena papam, punyena punyam, all the different results are there. So the mixture, trividham karmanaha phalam, these are three kinds of results only anyone can get. What I wanted, or what I did not want, or the mixture, what I wanted, but it is mixed with some other thing also. Like in our organization also, we get some donation, but they will put some condition also. And organization always want unconditional donation, no strings attached. So if you get it, but string, chalo, aa raha hai na, aane do. something is better than nothing. So a variety of our individual level, family level, social level, so many levels are all these results come. Anishtam, ishtam, mishtam. Now Bhagavan says, Bhavati atyaginam pretya. When they depart from this world, or even while they depart from one experience to another experience, here only, atyaginam. Those who are not tyagi, for them these results are there and they make them happy, unhappy, mixture. Now atyagi, naturally who is that? Those who are doing tamas tyaga, those who are doing rajas tyaga, they are called atyagi. Now those, just now it was said, tyagi people are such, sattva samavishtaha. So they gain the purity of mind. They were never attached to fruit of action anyway. So the ishtam, anishtam, ishtam has no meaning to them. They gain the purity of mind. But those who have got the sense of doership and their attachments and all, they are called atyagi. Such people, then they are naturally, they will get this result. And because of that, now they are happy, now they are unhappy. And sometimes the sukham, dukkham, both of them come together only. Unfortunately, I fell down there, but fortunately one doctor was present there. So, so one thing is this is there, that is there, and what surprise, something, luck, it happened in front of a hospital only. So this, unfortunately, but fortunately, fortunately, and so they go on like that. So luckily this thing also happened, So this is called Mishram. So they feel happy and happier. But त्यागी, वो तो त्यागी is already given up attachment, तो उसको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. चित्तस्य शुद्धये कर्म, so that karma is for purity of mind. So he gets the purity anyway. But the other people, they keep fluctuating. But Bhagavan says, natu sannyasinam kochit. Now suddenly Bhagavan uses the word sannyasi. But sannyasi, these results are not for sannyasis. Now, in the one reference here, what appears, so tyaga and sannyasa appear to be one and the same. But later on you will find sannyasa is little or ucha, higher hai. So I will not complicate too much of here, I will say only one thing here. Tyaga is the preparatory stage of sannyas. In tyaga, what is emphasized is renunciation of likes and dislikes, right? And renunciation of attachment to the fruit of action. Now the question is, who has likes and dislikes? And who has attachment to this fruit of action? So it is only the doer has got that. I am the doer, I have likes and I have dislikes. And therefore, sannyasa is the renunciation of this I. It is subtler, it is higher. I'll take you to the Gita Chapter 5. Bhagavan says one place, Nyayasa nitya sannyasi yo na dveshti na kankshati. One sannyas lakshana he has given, yo na dveshti na kankshati. There's no likes and dislikes. And then in the same chapter, आगे क्या कहते हैं वो? What does he say? नैव किंचित करोमि इति युक्तो मन्ये तत्त्ववित्. I do nothing. सर्व कर्माणि मनसा सन्न्यस्यास्ते सुखम वशी नवद्वारे पुरे देहि नैव कुर्वन् न कारयन्. Seated in this body, neither he becomes a doer nor become a prompter, asking anyone else to do. The very kartrutva bhava is given. The I who had likes and dislikes, that I only is renounced. That is called sannyas. That's why ubhe satyandrite tyaktva yena tyajasi tatyaya. You give a pap also, punya also, good or bad, and the I who was acquiring and who was giving up, drop that I only. That is the sannyas. That Bhagavan is going to very elaborately say there now. Now here it is only hinted, natu sannyasinam kvachit. All these karma phalas and all that, they bind only to a tyagi. Tyagis, they do not bind in the sense tyagi has a renounced attachment, so he gains the purity of mind. But there is one more stage higher. So the essence of sannyas, renunciation, is the renunciation of ego, very sense of doership. That aham tyaga is very difficult, Because when a person does a lot of penance, and then he says, I am a great tapasvi. Oh, he does his charity. You know how much charity I have done. That I comes everywhere. In Ramayana, Tulsi Ramayana, there are manas rog. So many diseases of mind they are pointed out. And this ahankara is considered as cancer. Because cancer can happen anywhere, isn't it? In the sense, ahankara can happen anywhere. It can have, I don't have any ahankara. There also it can sit there. Uska koi bharosa nahi, we have to be very, very careful, Because it appears in so many forms. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi has described this ahankara, rupodbhavaha, rupatati pratishtaha, rupashanaha, dhuta grihita rupaha, swayam virupaha, swavichara kale, dhavatyahankara pishacheshaha. This ahankara rises the identification with one or the other thing. If you identify with this particular thing, then ahankara. And it thrives only on these identifications with this. Then it catches one upadhi, it drops another upadhi, then a new upadhi. But by itself it is nothing. But showing off everywhere, I am so. Renounce that ego is the subtlest thing. So Bhagavan says, Natu sannyasinam kvachit. So now what are the sannyasis? That now, because he asked the essence, so Bhagavan now is going into very, very details. Otherwise, tyaga, he could have just said, the one who has no likes and dislikes. But he gave the views of others, then threadbare discussion, it is, everything made very clear. So now, let us see about sannyas. And in this description of sannyas, essence of sannyas, he is explaining the very anatomy, physiology, psychology, whatever you call, of this karma. What is this karma? How the karma is performed? Everything about karma. Then one stroke comes there. And sannyasa are there. Ready? Chalo. He says, to perform the karmas, this is what is required. Panchaitani mahabaho. Karanani nibodhame. Sankhye kritante proktani. Siddhaye sarva karmanam. Hey Mahabaho Arjuna, nibodhame. Please understand from me. I am going to tell you. What I am going to tell you. Pancha etani karanani. Pancha, 5, etani, these, karanani, factors, siddhaye sarva karmanam, for accomplishing all activities, all karmas, to perform all karmas, these 5 factors are necessary. Where it is said? Proktani, they have been said. Where? Sankhya. Sankhya Yoga, or Jnana. Sankhya is the philosophy also. But Sankhya here is actually word used here for Vedanta only, because it's a Krutante. Visheshana of Sankhya is Krutante. Krutanta means that knowledge which puts an end to all our activities. After all our activities are only meant for searching happiness. If you find the happiness, all the purpose of all action is done. That's why in the Gita 4th chapter Bhagavan said, Sarvam karma khilam partha jnane parisamapyate. The culmination of all karmas, end of all karmas, is only in knowledge. Because in the sense, all karmas that we undertake, they are only for finding happiness and fulfillment in life. And that we can find only by self-knowledge. Therefore, this Sankhya is Vedanta, is called Krutanta. Oh, so in Vedanta Shastra it is said. And what is that? Siddhaye sarva karma. Arjuna, there are 5 factors said in Vedanta necessary to perform all karmas. Okay. What are they? Luckily he himself tells so. Bhagavan himself has said that. What are those 5 factors, you see? So that is nice. Adhishthanam tatha karta karanam cha pruthak vidham vividhascha pruthak cheshtaha daivam chaivatra panchamam. The first factor that is required to perform karma is adhisthana. Here adhisthana means the support, the house, the abode, and called the body. Oh, body is required. Body is required. Next, tatha, then karta. Karta, a doer required. Now suppose the body is there and is sleeping. So body is there, only that body doesn't do anything. Involuntary, it may throw legs here and there and all that. And all the breathing physiological going on, but there is no sense of doership. So you cannot meet and discuss with a sleeping person, because the karta is not there. So the second is the doer is required. Body and the doer. Karanam cha pruthak vidham. And karanam pruthak vidham. And different kinds of karana, the instruments are also required. And here the karanas means the sense organs, the eyes, ear, nose, tongue, skin, right? All these sense organs also must be functioning. And then the speech and the hands and legs, these are called karmendriyas. They are called they also are required. Yes. Adhishthanam tatha karta karanam cha pruthak vidvad. Then vividhascha pruthak cheshta. And vividhascha pruthak. And there are so many different cheshtas, functions, activities. And these are vividha cheshtas are of prana. That's called physiological functions. So there is a physical body is called anatomy. Then the prana must be there. Prana activity. The prana is also activity. That's called the vital force, energy. All physiological functions are going by prana. So pranas must be there. Prana, apana, vyana, samana, udana. All the different activities of prana. Then the sense organs. Organs of actions. The karta, the doership, that will come in the mind, intellect then. And the physical body. Then, he says, one more factor is there. 4 are indicated. Body, doer, organs, pranas, and one more, Daivam Chaivatra Panchamam. And the 5th factor is called Daivam. Now this Daiva is translated and understood in many ways, you know. Some people say Daiva is some unseen factor. Some people call it luck. Some people call it, God. Some people call it in different ways. Also they call it Daivam Chaivatra Panchamam. Or, you see, all our sense organs to function, they function under specific laws of nature, isn't it? That the eyes only can see, they cannot hear. The ears only can hear, but they cannot see. So that means what? All our senses, all of them are products of Prakriti and they function under certain forces and laws of nature. And if they are working like that, there must be law enforcement authority. And therefore, Daiva is called the Adhishtatru Devatas. The presiding deities of our the senses and all that, Sometimes you go to some offices and then, nothing could be done. Why? Because all of them are gone on strike. So the strike पे चलो तो कुछ काम ही नहीं हुआ, so presiding officer ही नहीं था वहाँ पे, presiding deity was not there. So how is it that our eyes only see, does not do anything else? How all our sense organ, everything is, kidney is doing its job, liver is doing its job, heart is doing its job. All of them have got their own functions and everything is doing its own job. So there must be a very good administrator, and that's called law enforcement authority, and they are called Daivam. So some people just say Daivam is unseen. Some will say it is luck, I tell you, I ran to the airport, I drove so fast to catch the flight, and I reached late only, but the plane was also late. I was so lucky, the plane. So what was the luck? All those non-believers and atheists and all that also, they use the word luck. Because they have to use it something. How they? Because otherwise it was not possible. But how did they pass? Some unseen thing is there. Now you call it God, you call it luck, you call grace, you call these presiding deities. So many ways it can be understood. But there is something unknown, unseen factor. Daivam Chaivatra Panchamam. Now you see, an individual who has to perform these activities, all the body, the mind, the intellect, the senses and all that is required, correct? Now you come to little organizational level or office level, business level, government level. So if somebody starts an office, his own, then what is your address of office? Somewhere he must have Adhishthan. Some place. Or your mission works from which place? अभी तो लोगों के घर से ही हो रहा है. Now in the beginning we don't have our own Adhishthan. Our secretary's office, president's office, that from there only we are working from home. Then now we have got Adhishthan. कर्ता कौन है? Who is the head? Actually, the head also, that's called karta. Karanam, so many workers are also required to do that. And how many activities? Oh, vividhashta prataksheshta. And all that happens, but the success depends upon some unseen factor. Because everything has to go right. It's not a very easy thing, When everything goes easy, then you don't realize that, what it is. But if something goes wrong, then only we understand. So we say, whether individual performing karmas, or an institution, the government also runs, there has to be a capital, isn't it? Government, where is the capital of the nation? And who is the president, prime minister, king, or who is that? And who are the others? How activities are going on? But anyway, fundamental is this. Body, the door, the instruments, and vidashta pratyakcheshta daivam chaivatra panchamam. Anyone has got any objection to that? You disagree? No, because without this nothing can happen. Because even if you object, you will object only with your mind and with your all senses, and for that also. Now, vividhascha pratyaksheshta, 5 factors, or 5 factors. Now, Bhagavan reduces these 5 factors to only 3. But in the 3, all others should be understood only. Okay? Sharira vang mano bhiryat karma prarabhate naraha nyayam va viparitam va panchaite tasya hetavaha. Sharira vag manobhir yat karma prarabhate nara. Yat karma, whichever karma, naraha prarabhate, the man begins, undertakes, starts, does, performs. Sharira vang manobhihi. With his sharira, body, vak. Vak means speech. Then all organs of action also must be understood. Manobhihi, mana, and all organs of knowledge and all of them should be understood. So, whatever karma that man does with his body, the speech, the mind, nyayam va viparidam va. What is the karma he does? Very just or unjust, right or wrong, noble, ignoble, moral, immoral. Whatever karma that person does, pancha ete tasya hetavaha. Only these 5 factors are involved in doing anything that one does. No elaboration is required. Any good karma or bad karma, right, wrong. For every karma, these 5 factors are required. Bhagavan, what do you want to say? So I can't understand, the drift of your argument or all that. You see, earlier you said, anishtam ishtam mishram cha trividam karmana phalam bhavati atyaginam natu sannyasinam. And then suddenly, panchaitani mahabaho karanani nibodhame. What do you want to say? Understood, for the karma, these 5 factors are required. All that is true. But then what? What is your point? Some people, they go on telling something, and then but what is your point? My point is just to distract you, that's all. So they don't have any point. But they go on so many things, they go on telling. But why? What is the purpose? But Bhagavan is not telling like that. So now he comes to the point. And here the essence of sannyas will come here. Okay? Tatraivam sati kartaram Atmanam kevalam tuyaha Pashyatya krita buddhitvat Nasa pashyati durmatihi. Tatra evam sati. Tatra now evam sati. This being the case. What being the case? That for all karmas, these 5 factors are required. Okay? This being the case, kartaram atmanam kevalam tuyaha pashyati. Yaha, that person who kevalam atmanam kartaram pashyati, the one who considers the kevala one alone without a second, that atma tattva, and that atma tattva as the doer, he who thinks. And why does he see that? Akrita buddhitvat. Because he has not refined his mind. He has not purified his mind. He has not gained the right vision as to who is the doer and who is not the doer. Nasa pashyati durmatihi. Such a person does not see because durmatihi, his mind is not sumati, it is durmati. He is not having right vision, under the influence of wrong vision only, he says. What do you say? Kevalam shuddham atmanam kartaram yaha pashyati. See, keval shuddha atma is not the doer. Right? In its presence, the body, the pranas, the senses, the organs of action, the sense of doership which is there in the mind, intellect, they all function. But this Atma Tattva itself does not function, is actionless. So there is no sense of doership. Remember, sense of doership is not in the Atma. It is only in the intellect. But the one who thinks that I am the doer, even though I am not the doer, but I think that I am the doer. Maybe the doership of something else is superimposed on myself. And then what happens? What does not belong to you, and then you say that is mine, then you are in trouble. Akrita buddhi. You know, there is a very famous story. Maybe you have read it or heard it or talked about it. I don't know whether you have heard. If you have heard it, again listen. And if you have not heard, then it is a new story. And even if you have heard or not heard, when I ask, has anybody heard it before? Just to satisfy me, please be say, no, no. Okay, now, story time. A train about to start from Mumbai railway station. One man sitting there in his first class cabin. And just before the train was to leave, one young, beautiful lady came with a box. That porter, the coolie brought it, and she said, keep it there. He kept it. She gave him money and he went out. And she also got down. And this man started imagining, oh, I have a nice companion now. But what happened? The train started, she never came. So now he had nothing to do with her and nothing to do with that box. But he was getting worried. You see how our mind was nothing. I hope she got into this course somewhere. Maybe next station she will come there. Nothing happened. Anyway, at particular station he reached there and he got down. So he got down and he asked one coolie, bring that also down, that box. Now see, it does not belong to him and he does not know what it is there. And then he asked, but a strange thing happened. A man in plain clothes, he came and he asked, is this box yours? He said, yes. You see, because he was thinking, that lady will be searching and then I will have good excuse to contact her and then friendship and then many things can happen, All imagination run while what he knew. So the moment that man, he whistled and police came. The police came and they said, Mister, you are under arrest. Why under? This box is yours, you said. So just because one box is mine, so you come to the police station and then only you will have. Now they went and took him. They asked him, what is there inside? Now he has no idea what is there inside or all that. Now you also are eager to know what is there inside that. And they, in front of all that, it was, oh! There was a dead body of a child. My story ends. Now it is left to your imagination. Find out who was that lady and who was the box and who was the child and why that was there. And it is a detective novel story then, But here my story is only that fellow, that man, has nothing to do with that lady, number one, but got deluded. That box did not belong to him, but he said it is mine. So the moment you say it is that you are in trouble, you are in for trouble, you don't know what it is there. The point, the story is here, what is not yours, if you just take to yourself, now all the doership and everything belongs to that only intellect. Atma is kevala shuddha chaitanya swarup atma. It is naiva kurvanna karayan. This atma tattva is actionless. In its presence all things happen, but it is not the doer. But now the doership of that intellect and then taken on myself, and then I say I am the doer, then karomi karme iti naro vijanan badhyo bhavet karma phalam cha bhoktum. If you say that you are the doer, then you will have to become the experiencer of the result of action. You cannot escape. So Bhagavan said, here, that lady in the story stands for our maya, ignorance, avidya. Under that influence of it, that's called akruta buddhitvat, durmatihi. The person under the influence of this delusory thing, which does not belong to it, it says it is mine, its quality is mine, it becomes the doer, and कर्ता बन गया तो फिर भोक्ता भी बनना पड़ेगा. And then again and again you have to just go through all these things. that person, it will be so difficult for him to prove that it was my just infatuation. I said this, really it was not mine and all that. To prove everything will be such a tedious job. And vichara dhutarthi kartruta chet karmatrayam nashyati sa eva mukti sa eva mukti he. Then with enquiry, proper enquiry is conducted, and then we understand, I am not karta. Aham bhojanam naiva bhojam na bhokta. I am neither an enjoyer, nor the object of enjoyment, not enjoyment. I am not the doer and all. That Chidananda Rupa, Aham Asmi, that is called Sumati, otherwise Durmati. Apashyati akrutabuddhitvat. And because of the mind is not purified, it's not enlightened, and therefore what happens? The kartrutva of Prakriti is pushed on the what I call the Purusha. And therefore suffering. And therefore what is sannyas? Sannyas is the giving up of this. That's why the topic coming there. It's not that Bhagavan just started saying something, Panchaitanya Mahabaho, and this sannyasa lakshana is given here now very clearly. So sannyasa is the renunciation of the ego, renunciation of doership, renunciation of enjoyership, whereas tyaga is renunciation of likes and dislikes, attachment to fruits of actions. That is called tyaga. And what is called tyaga here, it is called yoga in the 5th chapter. 2 words are sannyasa. Yoga yukto vishuddhatma vijitatma jitendriya sarva bhutatma bhutatma kurvannapi na lipyate. So the first yoga yukta, karma yoga. What is called karma yoga is only tyaga. So please understand, tyaga, yoga, karma yoga is one and the same thing. And that only will purify the mind, and then will take us to this naham karta bhava. I am not the doer. That is called sannyas. So sannyas is the higher stage of this tyaga or yoga. That's what it is. Earlier said, now different terminology. Now Bhagavan says, the one who has no sense of doership, then he is not bound by anything. And what kind of extreme kind of example he has given. Extreme kind of example. Now let us see. Yasya naham kruto bhavaha buddhir yasya na lipyate hatva pisa iman lokan na hanti na nibadhyate. Yasya na ahankrato bhavaha. Yasya, that person who has no such bhava notion. Ahankrataha, I am the doer, I am the doer, I am the doer. The one who has no sense of doership. Buddhir yasya na lipyate. And his mind or intellect does not get contaminated by the attachment to the results. Then, hatva pisa iman lokan. Even if that person kills all these worlds, destroys these worlds or people, na hanti, na nibadhyate. He does not kill anyone and he is not bound. That does not mean he goes on killing, That's not a point. With the extreme, that means what? All karma phalas can bind only a doer. But when the doer is not there, what karma phala can be won? See, in this world also, whatever, suppose a person is given capital punishment, death sentence, and date is fixed, such and such date. that executed on that. Right? And that person dies before that. He himself dies. Before that, actually, the death sentence is executed. Now, who will be hanged? The very one who was to be hanged is already gone. उसकी dead body को थोड़ी hang करेंगे? They will not die because now gone. खत्म खेल खत्म उसके लिए. Aham krita bhavaha. Aham is there. So then that, but the one who has no aham, the point is, in the Gita Chapter 4, Bhagavan again and again says, Karmanyaphi pravrittopi naiva kinchit karoti saha krutvapi na nibadhyate. Even though ever engaged in all karmas, but he doesn't do anything, he is not bound. That is said there. So here also this is called sannyas. Yasya naham krito bhavaha buddhir yasya na lipyate hatvapi sa iman lokan na hanti na nibhadyate. I said it is an extreme example, but the idea is then even though performing karmas, he is not bound by any karmas, and that is called sannyas. So what we have found? What is the essence of tyaga? Renunciation of likes and dislikes, renunciation of all attachments to the fruits of action, giving up even the fruits also, performing only kartavya karma, then that is called tyaga. Not renouncing karmas, but renouncing only the attachments on. Then when the question about who is the doer, that is given up, then that is called sannyas. So sometimes even though both appear very same, sometimes they may be used also that way, but here the subtle distinction must be understood. That's why I said the tyaga or yoga is a preparatory stage of sannyas. Now, actually one way now we can say the topic is over now, you see. Because karma क्या है बता दिया, संन्यास क्या है, said अब क्या करें. Bhagavan looked at his watch and he said, there is some time. War has to begin after some time only. So no, he said like that, I don't know. But Bhagavan again said, and now comes another beautiful topic. And the beautiful topic is the holistic vision of life. This is how I will describe that. Someone asked me, what does Vedanta teach? So the Vedanta teaches, look at your life as a whole and live a whole life. So this word also is very common, holistic vision. Nowadays, holistic health. So many things, holistic. So we must have complete vision of that. So here is now complete vision of life. What is the vision? What is the action? Or all that, must be understood. What happens is, whenever somebody's birthday is a happy birthday to you, but how to make the birthday happy? If he asks, I don't have any idea. And you say, Happy New Year. What is Happy New Year? No, what is Happy New Year? How to make a New Year happy? And please understand, unless we have got a total vision of life, only by some tips and tips and tips, we cannot live on tips. There is some vision and then some practical tips and hints and clues and all that, even then that is all right. But only on that you cannot live your life, Tips for Happy Living. I also got a book on Tips for Happy Living. No, some give us a tips for happy. One tip is make someone else happy. What a difficult job you are giving. How to make someone else happy? I don't know what will make that person happy. Isn't it? Oh, two ladies were talking to each other. One lady asked the other lady, is it difficult to please your husband? She says, I don't know, I didn't try. How to do it? They very nicely said to make someone else happy. How to make someone else happy? You try to make someone else happy, oh, get angry only. I don't never know. So therefore, if you have to have total vision, then tips will work and all that. But unless I got happiness within myself, how can I make it? So now Bhagavan is taking up a very nice topic now. Shloka number 18. Jnanam jneyam parijñāta Trividha karma chodana Karanam karma karteti Trividha karma sangraha Jnanam jneyam parijñāta. Jnanam means knowledge. Simple meaning. Then we'll see the more import of it. Knowledge. Jneyam, the object of knowledge. Parijñāta, the knower. Knowledge, the known and the knower. Trividha karma chodana. These three factors form karma chodana, means impulse to action, means motivation to action. What is that which motivates a person to act? Oh, he said these are the three factors. Jnanam, jneyam, parijñāta, trividha karma chodana. These are the motivators, impulse to action. The knowledge that motivates, or the object of knowledge motivates, or the parijñāta, the knower. Right. Now I am motivated to act. But then I also must have the factors and the basis of action. Therefore called Trividha karma sangraha. Three kinds of karma sangraha. Karanam means instruments, organs, instruments. Karma, the actual action. And karta, the doer. Whatever action I wanted to perform, or suppose a violinist is there, violin player. Someone says, we play the violin. But I didn't bring my violin. Karanam hi nahi hai. And that person who has to play on that violin, that person has to have some impulse to action, isn't it? The prerana, that is called prerana. Karma chodana means karma prerana. Some motivating factor has to be there. Then only you will do it. So is that a musician, that knowledge of music can motivate. I know music. That knowledge can be. Or something new I want to learn. This raga I have studied, now I want to, so niyam, some niyam is there. I want to run that raga now, that melody. That will motivate. or from himself only? Let me practice. So some prerana has to be there. But after that, there must be instrument, then there must be the karta, the doer, and then actual karma. So this is how our life is a life of action goes on. Jnanam, jneyam, parijñata, trividha karma prerana, karma chodana, karanam karma karteti, trividha karma sangraha. The basis of action, the factors necessary to perform action. And actually our whole life is nothing but jnana and karma. Isn't it? We perceive this world and then give our response. Other than jnana and karma, what our life is. But there are so many factors in that. Now what Bhagavan said, these factors are also of three kinds. Now Bhagavan is on the mode of three. Three will come. He said, Jnanam karma cha karta cha tridhaiva guna bhedataha prochyate guna sankhyane yathava shrunutanyaphi. Now Bhagavan says, Jnanam, knowledge, karma, action, and karta, tridhaiva guna bhedataha. They are of three kinds based on the three gunas, sattva guna, rajo guna, tamo guna. And where it is a prochyate guna sankhyane. And this is very beautifully analyzed, explained. In the Sankhya Yoga, whether Vedanta also take or Sankhya Yoga, Kapil Muni also you say, there is a lot of description of the three gunas of Prakriti also given there. So all this is given, yathava shrunutanyapi. Now listen to them. I am going to tell in sequence, you also listen. Now here, if you see the previous shloka, in the first line there are three factors. Second line there are three factors. So total 6 are there. So Bhagavan should say, no, these 6 factors of 3 kinds. Suddenly these 6 became 3 only. How it has become? You see here, Jnanam, Jneyam, Parijñata. The knower only will become karta or not. So Parijñata and knower is brought in the one. I know something, then I do so. So knower only become doer. So Parijñata and karta, they become one. So Bhagavan says only karta. Jnanam already he has said, Jnanam. Now, as far as karanam are there, or object of knowledge, the eyes, ear, nose, they cannot be trigunatmaka, isn't it? Only our perceptions and all that can be sattvic, rajasic, tamasic and all that. But the organs in themselves, they are all right. There is no problem with them. But karma can be sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Therefore, what happens? A knower with the instruments of knowledge gains some knowledge, and then after that, depending upon what the qualities of gunas, then he performs the action. So therefore, now the 6 factors are only brought to only 3 factors. Jnanam, karma cha, karta cha, tridhaiva guna bhedataha, prochyate guna sankhyane, yathava shrunu tanyape. Now listen to that. So he will say, what is the jnanam of 3 kinds, karma 3 kinds, karta 3 kinds, thereafter buddhi 3 kinds, dhruti 3 kinds, sukham 3 kinds. Now then you understand your whole life as a... See, this is a Bhagavan's way of teaching, you know. Thoda sa pehle batana, little. Then little more elaboration. Then little more elaboration. Correct? In the medical language, we call it sustained release. When you take the medicine, सबका एकदम नहीं आता पे, धीरे धीरे slowly it release करता रहता है. So भगवान also will release the topic slowly, एकदम सब नहीं होता है. I hope you are enjoying. Chalo, now let us sing the name of the Lord. जय सिया राम, जय जय सिया राम. जय सिया राम, जय जय सिया राम. बोलो राम 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 सीता राम. बोलो राम 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 सीता राम. बोलो राम 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 सीता राम. बोलो बोलो राम 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 सीता राम. जय सिया राम, जय जय सिया राम. जय सिया राम, जय जय सिया राम. बोलो राम 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 राजा राम. बोलो राम 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 राजा राम. बोलो राम 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 राजा राम. जय सिया राम, जय जय सिया राम. जय सिया राम, जय जय सिया राम. जय जय सिया राम. जय जय सिया राम. बोले सियावर रामचंद्र की जय. सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम.